Alright, after spending an hour or so just pressing buttons in the UI, let's actually try and do something. So let's try and ally with Georgia to start with. They're a big nation next to us. Seems logical. Ooh, they have their own ecumenical, well, their own patriarchy. What would joining give us? Well, it'll make us a part of their patriarchy. We'll be defending against hostile countries. So I suppose it's a sort of alliance. Does that mean we're protected because we're part of Byzantium's international organization? Is there anywhere I can see what international organizations I'm part of? There must be. I've probably already seen it. Well, yeah, here. So we're part of the patriarchy, the ecumenical one. Tenants. Ooh. So it looks like there can be laws. And there's also saints. There's a lot of members. So does that mean Byzantium has to protect all of them? Maybe. They are allied with me, but not allied with everyone else. I suppose we'll see. Let's go back to trying to ally with Georgia. We won't join their international organization. Will they accept an alliance? Doesn't look like it. Mainly because they just don't like us. We could form a defensive league. Maybe that's just worth it, because we'll just have them for potential protection. Let's just do that. This will cost us 1, I think, diplomatic point. Yep, takes us down to 4. Now let's think about trying to attack somebody. Who's weak next to us and pathetic and weak? Well, these big guys are big. Probably don't want to mess with them to start with. So instead, let's think about like this guy with just his single province. He's the obvious target of our wrath. He actually has 1,000 soldiers while we have none. We'll look about training soldiers in a moment. These are the casus bellis we can create. We've got religious war, claims on provinces, dubious claims on provinces, or parliament action to take war. It looks like claims on provinces is the cheapest option, obviously. Religious war is more expensive, but why? Well, I imagine religious war lets you take multiple provinces. Let's click on somebody who has multiple provinces so we can look. It's hard to say. I need to be able to actually do it to see. Oh, we can declare war with no casus belli. Doesn't look to be beneficial though. So let's start making a spy network in these places. Where can I create a spy network? Ooh, these guys are a subject. Oh, okay. They are a subject of... Where can I see who they're a subject of? Why is it so awkward to see this information? Here we go. I have to click on the face. Yeah, they're a subject of these bigger guys. They're a tributary, okay. I'm not really sure if I want to try to pronounce these Eretinids. Sounds about right. These are all tributaries, damn. So we're not going to have much room to do anything. They've tributized all of these northerny nations. I suppose we could try and just skip across the water and go for Bafar. Are they a tributary of anybody? Yes, they are, even though they didn't show up in the tributary list. Didn't they? Yeah, they did. And then there's the Canardids. I suppose maybe we should just try and build up and attack the Eritreids. Do they have an alliance? They have an enemy, which is us. They're part of this organization. A power vacuum. There are 3 claimants to the Ilkhanet. Wasn't there another nation here? No. I guess let's build a spy network in this big guy then. We're not allowed to. They're a subject as well to these guys. Oh yeah, these are the remnants of the Ilkhanet. I suppose they'll collapse. Let's just wait a little then. Let's let time pass. Well, actually, no, let's build up an army. So creating soldiers, of course, costs money. Then I assume they cost upkeep in the goods, which I imagine the price goes up and down based on supply and demand of these things. Let's just make them and see what happens. Be a good learning experience. So can we not make them? We can make them here in our capital. Nowhere else for some reason. I guess we probably need to build a building that makes it possible. We have different recruitment methods. Rushed. Starting strength. Ooh, we can slow it down for a higher experience, but lower time. Maybe let's slow it down now that we're in a rush. So let's train, I don't know, like 4 people. 1, 2... Oh, can we only train 1 at a time? Ooh, are we not actually training them? We're building a building. Yes, we are. We're building the building that lets us create soldiers. Well, I guess it's a good idea we get that built. Can we see the building? I feel like these buildings are really small and hard to see. Definitely something that should probably be changed. But yes, we're constructing a building, I think. We're constructing a sergeantary. Can we read what it does? Sergeantary is the building where sergeants live and train. Increases local crown power. Gives monthly manpower and can create regiments here. Sounds logical. Should we build anything else? What goods are in our country? We've got wood, got olives, metal, silver specifically, some iron, some silk. Are there buildings that benefit from this? Spinners Guild, Royal Garden, a special construction. Can only be built if the following conditions are met. Capital of the country, and we're a monarchy. I feel like these buildings are it's hard to see what exactly I'm looking at. Let's sort by building type. No, we don't want maximum profit. Let's just sort by name then. We can sort by the buildings the people use. Okay, so these are the ones that nobles do. We have an embassy. It looks like we can build embassy in other countries. Yeah, we can build it in Constantinople, for example. That's interesting. It removes fog of war, increases diplomatic capacity. It doesn't seem to do much else though, or does it? Who can say? It can maybe be built in countries that like us anyway. Then we've got the Royal Court. Increases crown power. Increases the efficiency of our cabinet. And then of course the Royal Gardens. Then we've got clerical buildings. I don't think I can build any of these right now. We could build this one, which produces something. Oh, it produces books. We don't need any of those. Burgher buildings. Labourer buildings. Soldier buildings, peasant buildings, no tribesmen or slave buildings. All right, is there a way to filter so it only shows buildings I can build? That would be nice. There we go. No, it didn't seem to work. Setting it to buildings I can only build still shows buildings I can build. How odd. We also have like employment status, the employment system. Currently have first come, first serve, which pushes us towards traditional economy. Do these provide any actual changes though? Ah, well, we'll leave that for now. Can we build roads? Since we had lacked control in our outer provinces. Yeah, here we go, road builder. Whoa, we can see it. Fortunately, it's very expensive to build roads, so I guess we won't be building any currently. We can only build gravel roads because we're uncivilized. Do the roads, are they based on which province I'm building? Yeah, it looks like it. Does that mean I have to click on every individual province and then pick the road? It kind of looks like that. I suppose, though, we really just want to connect roads to our capital. Connecting roads to other things doesn't really matter. Or at least I doubt it matters. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. We can expand the RGO, which increases the amount of the resource that's produced in the province. Maybe we should increase some RGOs. We're already building something in Trebizond, though, so maybe we should do it in somewhere else. Oh, we should expand our silver production. Surely. Then we'll have more silver, which is good. Let's do it. Let's expand our silver production. And now we're going to actually unpause the game and see what happens. A rivalry has been declared with us. The Byzantine Empire has gone bankrupt. Poor Byzantines. Speed up a little. For the next 6 months, they'll be very weak. Ooh, the Turkish threat. The Ecumenical Patriarch has been weakened. This guy looks like they left the Ecumenical Patriarch. Alright. The Turkish threat. This looks like it's just an opening event about the Ottomans. It looks like the rise of the Turks has been created. Looks like our defensive league Georgia left. But why, bro? I want to be protected by you. Oh, because they declared us a rival. Really? Us, a rival of you? Horrible. But yes, we now have the rise of the Turk situation. Ottomans are in the lead, but it looks like other Turks could take the lead from them. Maybe we can stop them, we'll have to see. Oh, we have another law that isn't codified. About slaves. Do we want slaves? Do we even have any slaves? Getting rid of slaves, force slave conversions, which I suppose converts slaves to our religion, will push us towards spiritualism. Where's spiritualism? Here it is. Spiritualism increases clerics, increases religious speed, decreases assimilation though, whereas humanism's the opposite. I think we'll let's do forced conversion of slaves. It's not like we really have any slaves anyway. Although surely we'll gain some when we conquer all of Turkey. Or, I'm sorry, Anatolia. It's not Turkey yet. The Ottomans have now made us a rival, not surprising because we already made them a rival. Inflation's rising, but why? Maybe more silver is being produced now than it was. Everyone's declaring us a rival. We have possible diplomatic action, so maybe let's try and do something. Is there someone we could be friendly with? Is there someone we could ally with? No one wants to ally with us. It's not really surprising. We can flatter people. We can form a defensive league with somebody. There's not really anybody around who wants to be our friend though. We can profess trust. Is this just increasing your relationship? Mutual trust. Cost us 2 diplomatic points. I wasn't sure that trust was really in the game, because it looks like we can bring people into... It looks like we can ally with people and bring them into wars without spending trust. so I assumed it wasn't really a thing, but it seems it is. We can royal marriage somebody using our sister. I'm not sure who we'd royal marry though. The logical one would be try and royal marry Byzantium, but they don't have any candidates, it looks like. We could royal marry with Wallachia, I suppose. We could marry to the current king of Wallachia, but he already has a son. We can marry the prince of Kiev. Maybe let's do that. Sounds like it might be fun. Proposing a royal marriage. We'll get 4 prestige while they gain 5. They'll accept. Let's just do it. Gain some prestige. Prestige is always nice. Hopefully this will benefit both nations immensely. Increased our prestige a little. We're losing prestige due to prestige decay. Looks like having high noble satisfaction increases our prestige. Let's let time continue. Really, we're just waiting on buildings to be built. A new outbreak. This is not good. Well, we just gained smallpox in Trebizondium. How can we deal with it? Is there anything we can do? What buildings are there? Surely it's a clergy building. Yeah, we can build a hospital. We need a lot more money to build one though. Increases character life expectancy. Cathedral, Orthodox monastery. Are there any other buildings that help with disease? Not seeing any. Now well. Let the smallpox do its thing. Apparently we have now become a great power. The world will tremble at the sound of our might. I suppose Trebizond, if anyone deserves to be a great power, it's probably Trebizond. We can now join an international organization. We can join the Kievian independence movement. I don't think we're going to though, because we're not even in Russia. Not our problem. Smallpox seem to just keep appearing and then immediately disappearing. Construction is missing input weaponry. I want to go to the goods page. So we don't have enough weaponry to build our building. How do we gain weaponry? Supply is too slow. Demand is too high. We can build some buildings that will create weaponry, it looks like. A weaponsmith is the obvious one. We can also build a marketplace. Weaponsmiths require stone and wood to make swords. I don't think we have either, funnily enough. We can build a weaponsmith though, but then I suppose they'll have to import the goods to build them. We could just build a marketplace where they can turn wood into swords at a very slow rate, but it can be done. Building a marketplace increases the peasants' power though. Where can we build? We can't build one in Trebizond. Yo, you can't build a market village in a city. I suppose that makes sense. Seems each of these have different profitability. Well, let's build one in the most profitable place. Just why not? Inflation's going up again. I guess we have to keep knocking it down a little. We're about our cap for diplomacy again. I guess let's make a spy network in Georgia since they're hostile to us now. Maybe we can do something good. As we can see, the construction for thingy. Leaders hard to find. A random event. We lose 5 army tradition. Where can we see our army tradition? Ah, here it is. It looks like it was already at 0. Or maybe it's now gone down to 0. The Ecumenical Patriarch of Constantinople has repealed Christology. It was a rubbish law anyway. Good riddance. I guess. What does Christology do? Not sure. No current effects. But I want to know what the effect would have been. Ah well, not my problem. We don't control what the Ecumenical Patriarch does anyway. We've just got to survive their actions. One of our children has gained a trait. The generous trait. I mean, not really a big deal for us. One thing of note is that the states seem to have money. So does that mean they spend the money on stuff? Is there somewhere for me to see how much money an estate has? We can see their income after tax and their monthly expenses, and yes, here we can see how much ducats they have. The nobility is basically bankrupting themselves. So is the clergy. So is the merchants. So are the peasants. No one has any money. And we're going to run out of food in our market in a month or so. Well, in 24 months. Is there something that we could do to stop that? We're no longer a great power. How shocking. None of our provinces reproduce food, but then every province seems to produce food in some way. Looks like our RGO is finished, but it's now missing employees. Because I guess there's not enough people in the province? is what I'd assume. A forest village seems to increase food production. Fishing villages increase food production. Maybe we should hire an artist. Oh yeah, we can't because we don't know how to hire artists. Oh well. Seems the Ottomans are at war. We could intervene in their war, but I don't think we will. It's not like we have anything. We don't even have a standing army of any kind. We've gained a casus belli on the Byzantine Empire. We can claim their throne. But why? Did their ruler die? It looks like they did. Can I see their, ruling history? So the last ruler was this guy, I think. He died. No, that's not true. He died hundreds of years ago. Last ruler was this guy, a Pelagius. He died literally 3 days ago. And now there's a regency. But why would we gain a claim on the throne? Is it because we've had previous rulers who were the ruler of Byzantium? We can't declare war because we have an alliance. Would we even want to bother though? We're a lot weaker than them in every aspect. So no, I don't think we'd want to. We're relying on the Byzantium to kind of protect us at the moment. We get another bad event which gives us -5 prestige. I really am playing a Europa Universalis game. We've got rid of linguistical practices in the ecumenical patriarch. Sounds about right. Foreign trade competition is rising. Oppose a tariff or there will be no tariffs. Opposing a tariff will make our burghers happier. Move towards traditional economy. I mean, we're almost maxed on traditional economy. Let's do it. Oppose tariff. We almost finished building. Yes, we have now finished building our building, which now lets us recruit soldiers. Huzzah. Do we even want to bother recruiting soldiers? Oh, we don't have enough manpower. We can see up here our manpower is 0, and we're gaining 2 every month. Soon enough, we'll have a large enough army. There we go. We've researched organized religion. Finally. Get that one ticked off. Next we'll go for burghers. Oh no, for guilds, sorry. Can I see? Yeah, we can see how many. There's supposedly there's 9. We're missing 21 advancements in this age. I'm not sure I can really see all of them though. It doesn't feel like I'm. Oh no, okay, yeah, meritocracy. That's what we're missing. But we probably won't get that for a long time because it comes from the Chinese. So we'll get guilds, then we'll get peasant connections because it decreases the cost of producing food, which sounds good. Then we'll probably get clearing terrain because it increases the maximum RGO size in rural lands, and then we'll get mercenaries for decreased construction speed. Then I guess we'll grab universal Christianity, expanded archives, and finally institution spread. We'll probably change this if a new institution spawns. If not, we'll just leave it as it is. So the market is now finished, which means we're now producing some arms here. It doesn't seem to lead to anything else. Well, laborers. Oh, we do get some soldiers. We get an extra 2 manpower, I think. Can I see a breakdown? No, it doesn't show. Ooh, the Byzantines are going to war with quite a few people. Cannadids and the Germanites. I guess we'll accept. Kind of scary, though. Let's raise our levies. This might be a good test to see how this will work. Do we pick which territories to raise? Yes. We'll leave our levies up over there. They're not going to be able to do much anyway. Then it costs time for the levies to raise. These guys are also at war. These guys gained their independence. No, they're still a vassal. Alright, so these are our armies. Ring them together. And then if we merge them... Can we merge them? Yeah, there we go. Merge. And then appoint a leader. We could appoint our ruler, but I'm not sure why we'd bother. We'll appoint our guy with 90... Oh wait, no, this is a mercenary. I guess instead of appointing that guy, we'll appoint our courtier with 79. Sometimes if we click on it doesn't say that he is a mercenary when we click on him though. But we'll appoint our courtier as a general. We have to wait a few days for him to arrive, it looks like. There we go. He's a member of the clergy. No, not clergy, sorry. He's a member of the merchants. We can ennoble him. What does that do? It'll elevate him to the nobility. Makes it so he joins the noble estate and and he forms a new dynasty. Interesting. We can just marry him to a noble. Can we even get to these guys? I don't think so, because we haven't got a border. But do we want to get to them? Do we want to actually take part in this war? Is there any benefit to it? I mean, I guess hypothetically, we could sue for peace and take their country, but, you know, I don't think we'll be doing that. I guess we'll just hang out here at home, and if the enemy does come over, we'll fight them. Need to be aware of attrition. The army costs food and they consume food over time. We can actually host a parliament. It looks like there's different effects based on where we host it. Okay, yeah, so hosting a parliament outside of the capital will increase decentralization, while hosting it inside of the capital will increase centralization. Is it worth... Because we're already gaining 27 decentralization a month due to various laws and things. Is it worth trying to decentralize? Whereas if we just go deeper into decentralization, we'll gain more buffs. I think we'll host it outside the capital then, just because we'll gain some buffs. Which issue should we bring up? Really, we just want to win so we can get stability. So it doesn't necessarily matter which thing we're going to go for, at least at the moment. Maybe we'll just conduct a census. It'll increase population growth. Let's try it. We'll see how it will work. Parliament's been cooled. Now Parliament is in session. It looks like we have parliamentary support. We have 15% of the Parliament support right now. There's parliamentary agendas. I guess if we give them what they want, they'll support the goal, the issue. We're going to support this one right now because it moves us towards land, and that's kind of what we want to do anyway. All it costs us is naval tradition and some happiness of the other estates, and it increased our support in the parliament to 39%. They now have a new issue where we lose stability and moves us towards autocracy. I kind of just want to wait and see what happens though, because we have 39%. What does that mean? Does it mean that it's going to roll and we'll fail? Or will the parliament continue? It'll probably fail, I assume. Maybe we should do this one just to get us up to... Oh, okay, so now that we're at 50% support, we can pass some extra laws. We'll lose support though. We can raise additional taxes. We can fabricate a casus belli. Ooh, that might be better than whatever we're going to get for this. Or ask for larger levies, which will increase levy size by 25%. How interesting. I'm not sure which one I want to do. Really, we'd like these Eritreanids to declare independence. I mean, their ruler has pretty much lost everything. They've been reduced to just this territory. It might be worth not even just really concerning ourselves with them. The Eritreanids, can we see their army strength? See, yeah, they have a very large army. Oh god, the Ottomans are now at war with Byzantium. Maybe we shouldn't have joined this war. Maybe we shouldn't even be friends with Byzantium anymore. We probably should have cut them off. Would have been the smart thing to do, probably. Well, as long as no one can reach our country, we'll just hang out on the side here. Good opportunity for us to look and see how war works. Ah, well, the parliament passed the issue. Next time we do a parliamentary issue, I think I'll go for something other factions want, and maybe use the popularity of the issue and the support of the issue to maybe pass another thing. We'll see though. We managed to pass the guilds. Can we automate armies? It looks like we can set them objective, yeah. And they'll basically just do their own thing, I guess. It's good to know. Descent from support from enemies abroad. It costs us 30 money, but it'll increase state satisfaction. We'll do it. Not like our money has much other worth at the moment. Guilds before country. Whoa. This guy, does he do anything in our nation currently? Oh, he's our cabinet member. So we can either just kill him and lose prestige. Their disloyalty must be punished, or diffuse the situation for -7 stability. Well, stability needs to be spent, so let's diffuse the situation for now. We're now a great power. Ooh, and somebody came of age. They skipped it. Was that our son? No, I think it was our daughter. Yes, she's now 16. She's slow. She has very bad stats overall. I guess she can just hang around a bit till we can find someone to marry her to. Maybe. One thing I was thinking of is our succession law. I'm not sure where we can see it. I think if we click on this button, yes, we can now see our succession law. We probably don't want to change anything too crazy at the moment. One thing I did like the idea of when I was looking at this before was favored son succession, which allows us to appoint an heir, and they also gain score based on their stats. So that would lead us being able to pick of our male children the best possible one, which, you know, sounds pretty good overall. Just being able to pick the best child of our current ones. We don't really need to worry about that right now because we only have one son, but it might be something we consider if we end up having a really good second son. I wonder if we marry someone to our daughter because she's a member of the crown, would they join the crown? Or would she join them? I actually kind of want to experiment. Let's marry her to this really high stat guy because he's got very high stats. We'll marry him to her just to see, just an experiment. See what happens. Will she join their estate or will he join ours? Looks like she's still part of the royal estate, and I guess it changed nothing. Okay, that's good to know. At least we can't marry people into different estates. I wonder though, will their children? He's a noble, so I guess their children will be part of his dynasty. Maybe he'll give his really good stats down to his children. I guess we'll see. Should I be going around and marrying all my nobles to each other? Sounds like busy work. I'm actually thinking I build some... Ooh, we're being invaded. Let's try and fight them. It'll be a good experience for us to see how it all works. We're fighting. There's flanks. Which side are we? We're the top, I guess, so the attacker is on the top. It kind of looks like we're losing. It really looks like we're losing. Though we're going to defeat their flank here, but we were defeated on that side first. I guess let's retreat. We can see our casualties. We lost 400 men. They lost 380. We gained some army tradition, though, from losing. We gained some experience as well. We get lost prestige because we lost and we gained war exhaustion. Our general gained the Master of Arms trait, which made his infantry better. They took our city, which is almost definitely a bad thing. Are they going to try and stack wipe us? No, they're sieging our capital. That's fine. Capital can actually hold out because it's got a fort. I guess we'll sit here a little. Can our armies replenish? Oh, peace was made with the Ottoman. They took quite a bit of land. I guess we'll see what Byzantium does on their side. Yeah, does our army replenish soldiers? We stopped being a great power if we ever were. These guys want a separate peace. They want us to pay war reparations. No thanks, bro. I'd rather just hold out for a better deal. It doesn't like our army replenishes. I guess because they're levies. They're losing soldiers though, trying to siege down the province. So maybe we'll wait. Ah, good event. Bountiful harvests. Perfect. Exactly what we needed in this situation. Yes, we'll wait for them to lose quite a lot of soldiers in the siege, and then maybe we'll join the battle. We'll attack them from behind. Can we see their army's general and stuff? Doesn't like it. Ooh. The Renaissance happened kind of in the middle of something, but I guess we'll look at it. We can choose a focus for the age. Focusing will give us access to the following advancements. Does that mean those advancements are unavailable if we don't focus on them? What was we researching? Here's a question. If I stop researching, do I lose all of the progress? Yes, it looks like it. Let's actually experiment. Let's take away all of our research on everything. And then if we put it back on this, do we regain the progress that we lost? No, it doesn't like it. All right. Doesn't really matter though. I wasn't that bothered. But yeah, let's look at the Renaissance for a second. But as I said, are the focuses, the advancements we don't pick from picking these things gone forever? Well, whatever, let's go military because having an army is probably a good thing. And I guess we'll start researching the first advancement in the Renaissance, which is scholarly treaties, which decreases embracing the cost of institutions anyway, which sounds pretty good. Now, we might actually need to attack the enemy that are sieging our capital. Apparently we're going to win. Very likely that our side will win, but it said that about the last battle. We count it was the defender this time because we're fighting on our fort, like in EU5, EU4 even. We broke their one flank. I wonder, can we call up the troops in the fort to join the battle? Yeah, we can have the garrison sortie. Let's do it. Sounds cool. Again, the garrison troops join the battle from the reserves. Looks like we're going to break their center. Yep, and now they just got their last flank. Boom. We did it. Did we actually stack wipe them? It looks like we did. Their whole army was destroyed. We gained some experience. We gained quite a bit of prestige and a little army tradition. I guess let's go and liberate our occupied city. Boom. And then that liberates the rest of the territory. One thing of note though is that we can't progress. Oh, they want a white peace. I think we'll accept. We've done enough for Byzantium. We won one battle. I actually kind of feel like I want to cut Byzantium off now. We're going to dissolve the defensive pact we have with them. Are they even still allied with us? It looks like they annulled their treaties with us, probably because the Ottomans demanded that. I am thinking, should we attack the Byzantian? We can't really reach them, and it doesn't look like we can get access because all the countries around us hate us. Maybe we should build up a navy and try and navally transport our army over. How many ships does Byzantium have? They have a navy of 10, they've got 7 galleys and 3 transports. So I guess if we build more than 7 galleys, or maybe something else, we can make cogs, which are the transport ships, and make traditional galleys, which are galleys. We can't really afford many galleys though. Let's see, how many galleys could we build? 1, 2, only 2? Oh, we can only build 2 at a time. We can only build 1 at a time. Let's build 2 galleys. We're making quite a bit of money at the moment. Could we raise taxes? Let's raise taxes a little. Ooh, professional armies has come into existence in Paris because us Greeks, we're not aware of professional armies. Renaissance has appeared in Italy. Yes, let's raise taxes a little, as much as the estates can stand, and then we'll try and put all that money into ships and then try and transport over and take the Byzantine throne. It sounds silly, but it might just work. Sale of titles, a good event from EU, 4 because it usually gave you a stability. Here it just seems to give money and lose us satisfaction with the nobility. That money though, I could turn that into a lot of ships, but we're gaining a lot of money at the moment. So I think we'll say no. That'll increase the satisfaction of the nobility up to 60%, which sounds pretty good. Banking has spawned in Genoa, as it probably should. Guess we'll wait a little bit, potentially. We'll keep an eye on Byzantium, and they're still at war with a few countries. Maybe their navy will get destroyed, in which case it would be easier for us to attack. Oh, our son has come of age. Crown Prince reached the age of 16. He is now the ruler's son and heir. We're throwing a party. So he has very high admin, very mediocre diplomacy, and reasonable military. Should we try and find him a wife? There are no countries willing to marry our son. How sad. He still has his child trait though. Maybe he'll lose it at some point. Does his sister still have her child trait? No, she lost it. Maybe after a few days they lose their child trait. Yeah, there, he lost his. Our only child left is our generous one. It's like Byzantium lost one of their wars and they had to give up a lot of territory. The county of Macedonia must be a rebel that spawned from Byzantium. Fortunately, it doesn't look like they've lost their navies. We gained another casus belli on Byzantium to take their throne, which is honestly what we want to hear. Hopefully Byzantium just becomes weaker, but not too weak, because when we take their throne, we kind of want them to be a little stronger, right? We could actually start making soldiers, I've just noticed. Ooh, maybe we should just hire some mercenary ships. This guy has 1 cog, which isn't really what we're interested in, so I guess we'll leave that for a minute. But we could train some actual regular soldiers. But no, we'll hold off for the moment. We want to make as many ships as we can, and for that we need money. An excellent minister. Efficiency in the cabinet, or just 10 prestige. I think we'll go for efficiency in the cabinet. Speaking of cabinet, we haven't really looked at our cabinet objectives in a long time. Oh, can we only sustain 1 ship per wharf? Okay. So that's why we can only build 1 in each of these provinces. Oh no, we're actually building the wharf to build ships, I guess. Trying to understand. Well, we've researched something. Let's pick another research. We can either go for codifying privileges and duties, which decreases grant privilege cost reduction. Down there we've got maximum RGO, war score with no casus belli, food production, cultural capacity, max literacy. Anything jumping out at us? The Silk Road. These are unique cultures based on our unique advances based on our location, as well as our religion, as well as the thing we picked at the start. What was in the other branch? So if we go this way, we get improved relations, we get loyalty of subjects. Loyalty of subjects might actually be quite good once we gain Byzantium as a subject. Peasant levies. I think we are going to go this way for improved relations. Potentially get that higher. So apparently we can't make ships because we don't have enough naval supplies in our market. And we also need sailors, of which we don't have many because we've only just built the buildings. I guess let's try another tactic and instead try and increase a relationship with the countries that border us so we can maybe get through their lands and walk to Byzantium. Sounds silly, but I mean, it could work. These guys would let us in. Maybe what we should do is just ask them for fleet basing right, or we purchase fleet basing rights and then just transport our army over via sea to them. It's risky though, because they have galleys and we don't have any galleys. If we were to raise our levies, what would we get? We would get 16 fishing boats, which don't really inspire confidence. Fishing boats aren't exactly known for being good at anything. We'll give them 100 gold. It's not like we're doing anything with it. Looks like Byzantium's finished their war. They've given up more territory to the county of Macedonia. Central Macedonia, sorry. Still have a lot of galleys though. I guess for a moment we'll just see if we can improve our relationship with these countries around and maybe gain military access from them, and then we could just walk. We gain an excellent minister. Let's look at our ministerial objectives currently, because maybe there's something better we can be doing. We're encouraging land with this guy, are we? No, we're changing social values. Societal change plus 10. For land. I guess let's go for diplomatic endeavors for the moment so we can increase relationships faster. This guy was increasing control. Maybe we'll stick with that for the moment. None of the others really jump out at me. For this guy, the military, I think we'll just stay with what he's doing, encouraging stability. None of the other options can help with our immediate concerns. Oh, we can call Parliament again. Oh, a daughter is born. To me, yes, for our ruler. That's nice, I guess. Let's call Parliament again. This time, we could expand a farming estate, support a noble. Ooh, we could support a noble cabinet, which will lead to one of our guys, specifically the one with a lot of very high stats, Gaining even higher stats, which sounds pretty good. Banned forest exploitation, support a cathedral. This would make building roads cheaper. Expand gravel road network. Or a mercantile cabinet would let this guy get better stats. Expand officer list. Would give us a new character whose stats aren't that great. It would make the peasants very happy. We're going to go with support a noble cabinet. And we're not necessarily going to do what they want though. Instead, because we're going to think about these other options, we could get higher taxes, we could get higher levies, we could ask for a law change, and we could choose a law, I guess, for free to change. I don't know though, I don't understand enough. Maybe we'll just stick with what we're doing. Oh, we actually gained a ruler trait at some point. We gained calm. Stability cost investment minus 10%. I can now offer these guys military access. Are they at war? Do they need it? They are at war. I guess we'll give it, because then they might like us more, and then they'll give us military access. Now this is the point where we need lots of diplomacy points. So we're going to max our diplomacy spending so we can gain them as fast as possible. Byzantium's now at war with pretty much everyone around them. I'm not even sure we want them as a vassal now, because if we get them as a vassal, we're likely just going to get absolutely dogpiled by all the countries they're at war with. We managed to get this guy up to 100 mil though, which sounds pretty great. We've got another outbreak in Trebizond, this time of typhus. Maybe we should build a hospital there, since disease seems to keep outbreaking. Or maybe we should build a road. Is there a way for me to see what exactly the benefits of building a road is? Decreases the movement cost, decreases proximity cost, which helps increase the control. Let's look at the control. Can we see proximity cost here? Current control, maximum control, is based to proximity to the capital. It's right next door though, so I would assume it would be a very high proximity. Let's hold off on the road. Let's build that hospital I was thinking about, I think. Yes, we'll build one hospital. It only increases disease resistance by 10% though, and the province has a disease chance of more than 10%. We've done our advancement. Let's grab another. I'm going to start queuing these up so that I don't accidentally miss time where I'm not doing them. So let's go loyalty of subjects, and I guess we'll go subject opinion, and then we'll leave that until we're done, and then we'll look at something else. We need to embrace the institutions to gain access to these other researches. So we'll leave that. We'll think about that another time, surely. Another son has been born. Is anyone willing to marry our son now? Nope, still no. They just don't like him. A Black Death has been spotted. How horrible. Not much we can really do. Well, we're building that hospital. Did we build it? It looks like we built it. Are there any other buildings we can build that will increase disease resistance? We're once again a great power. Doesn't look like there are any buildings that decrease disease resistance, unless there's something I'm not seeing, which is borderline likely. We've already built a hospital. Can we build more? We could build a mission, actually. That increases disease resistance. It's a colonial building, though, so I guess it can only be built in colonial territories. We can start preparing for the Black Death. We could isolate our country. That only happens if someone's next to us, though. We could procure remedies, which makes everyone happy, apparently. Let's do that. And then we could build disease-resistant buildings. Well, we've already got a hospital. I guess there's nothing else we can do to prepare for the Black Death, except for isolating our country when it really gets close. Who knows, since disease keeps spawning in our capital. Maybe it'll be too diseased for the Black Death to show up. Oh, the Black Death has entered our country, probably via sea. We could put the court into hiding, which makes everyone unhappy. Let's do that. We control the food market, which will ban imports of things. Let's do it. Well, actually, let's isolate the country entirely. Good thing we let our stability increase, because now there's something to spend it on. We have a historical event. Leash the rabid dogs, which will take away a lot of their privileges and lose us 50 stability. That's a lot of stability. Or there's nothing we do about it, which will just lose us legitimacy. I think there's nothing we can do about it. Losing 50 stability and going deep into the red would probably be bad. I think we beat back the plague, actually. Sounds strange to say, but it looks like it happened. Our daughter gained the Gallant trait. Looks like the plague wasn't beaten back after all, it's back. I guess we'll just have to kind of sit in the darkness and wait for it to leave. Another one bites the dust. There he goes, I guess. Black Death is now completely in our country. Not really anything we can do about it though. We'll wait for it to bleed itself out, I guess. Looks like it's already kind of disappearing. It's killed 100,000 people in our country alone though. Our child has gained the idiot trait. Well, they are our child after all. Plague is almost gone. Research another advancement. I guess we'll go for army morale. Probably be the most helpful in the short term. I guess we could emerge from hiding because only one part of the country is still infected. There we go. Plague is gone. It only killed like a third of the country. Not a big deal. Now, back to trying to think about how to fight Byzantium. The real problem is Ottomans won't give us access through their country, so we can't just walk to Constantinople. We could hypothetically use these guys as a jumping board by getting fleet basing rights and then just landing in them. We still can't build any of our own galleys, unfortunately, because we don't have enough naval supplies, and I'm not sure how to get more. We do have enough sailors now, though. If we go to the market screen, could we buy naval supply? Or the trading screen, even? The market is automated. I don't see naval supplies here. To be fair, though, these symbols are pretty hard to read. Are these naval supplies? Yes, they are. We can do another parliament. Maybe they'll give us a ship. Use ties with neighbours. Promote castle works. Promote member of the clergy. Sponsor cathedral. Develop the interior. Increase naval structure will increase ship building speed. Unfortunately, we can't build any ships. I guess we'll go with develop the interior. It'll increase the development of one of our cities and push us towards the land. We'll give this to the nobility. Now the true test, being able to see what good is what. So I think we're importing some naval supplies. They're not importing at a rate that's high enough for us. We need more. Can't seem to find naval supplies in the list here, though. It's just too hard to see. I feel so stupid trying to see. Oh, there it is. There's naval supplies. Okay. We've done it. Now I want to import naval supplies. I want a lot of them. If we do this, we'll get 0.71 naval supplies. Surely that's enough from the Kafar market. Did that do it? I don't think so. Maybe. Can we build a ship now? We can! Whoa, we're building a ship. I think this is the only ship we can build, but we're building it. Who would have thought? Whoa, actually, Byzantium doesn't have a navy anymore. Maybe they got stacked wiped? They are at war with their own clergy. Let's do it. We're going to attack. We're going to attack. We're going to try and take the Byzantine throne as is rightfully ours. We're doing it. Our navies are equally strong, well, because neither of us have a navy. Alright, let's be smart about this. We'll raise our levies, both navally and not so navally. Maybe let's immediately put our army on the ships. Yeah, there we go. Let's... Oh, I was going to try and use those guys as a bungee jump, but they got Ottoman. Let's try and be careful. Let's actually appoint a naval leader, probably the smart thing to do, as well as a general for our armies, another smart thing to do. We're at the walls of Constantinople, kind of. How do we disembark? I guess we'll select the army here and then leave. There we go. We've done it. A new heresy has appeared. A new religion has spawned. Basically, Russian sort of splinter from Orthodoxy. Not my problem. Not too much of my problem. Now we'll begin the arduous task, surely, of sieging Constantinople with our very small army, though Byzantium has an even smaller army of nothing. So surely we're gonna win. We'll bring the 2 soldiers we have over here. They're not strong enough to siege anything, unfortunately. I guess we'll just throw them into the siege. I wonder if we should hire some mercenaries? There's no one to hire. Not possible during war. That's interesting. When you're at war, it's what you got. You can't hire new soldiers on the fly. Can we naval blockade? We probably can't naval blockade Constantinople. That wouldn't be logical. It's not sort of place that gets naval blockaded. Maybe if we split our navy, split in half, bring half over here. Oh no, we haven't got the manpower to siege. So somebody just died. Was that our son? Yeah, our eldest son just died. That's awful. Of a hunting accident. It's happening again. Luckily we have another son. He's an idiot though. So I don't have much hope for him to be a good ruler. But right, so if we hire a mercenary leader, we can ask them to... Oh, so okay, so this is how getting mercenaries work. We just pick a leader, and then he creates or brings them with him. We want a lot of mercenaries, because we're just going to throw them at the siege. Let's take these. Oh, they're too expensive. We need money. I guess, well, let's bring 2 regiments of mercenaries, hire them here. I guess we'll try and bring them over using our navy. There's only 200 of them, but maybe that's all we need. Just give us a little boost to the siege. It's probably not going to work. We are sieging again though. We're losing money now though. I think it's time that we debt max, as it were. We're going to mint a lot of gold. We're going to increase taxes by quite a lot, not too much on some of these people. And I guess basically we're going to hire more mercenaries. What if we just hire soldiers? We can recruit regulars. Yeah, that's a much better idea. Unfortunately, I don't really have the money now. Sure, if only I'd known, if I hadn't been so stupid. Georgia has decided they're going to humiliate us. We've again run out of manpower to siege. Could we wipe peace? We're close to being able to wipe peace. Let's siege down some of the other cities in the area. Let's get this peasant levies, and let's try and wipe peace out this war. We'll come back later, I think, when we're smarter. We get gold? No. They're not willing to give us any gold because we don't have enough. Ooh, wait a minute. What the hell? We sieged down Constantinople? How? Did Byzantium go bankrupt or something? And they reduced their garrison to nothing? Okay, I'm not going to complain, but that's strange. Now, what could we... We're supposed to take their throne. I don't see the option in the, in our demands. Claim throne has belly. Supposedly it's supposed to give us a subjugation, or the option to subjugate. I'm not seeing the option here though. Maybe claiming a throne doesn't work like how I would think it would. Well, let's occupy more land. Maybe if we occupy more of their country. All right, our war goal cost is now 85%. Surely, but yeah, I'm just not seeing the option to take their throne. Am I blind? Am I not supposed to take the throne? Supposed to take their land? That doesn't feel correct. How much land could we take? We could full annex them, I guess. But our war goal says the conquest cost is supposed to be 100% higher than normal. Oh well, yeah. So surely there's something else we're supposed to do. What does the AI say? The AI says we should force a royal marriage and for them to pay reparations and then just take a bunch of land. Why? But I want to take their throne. That sounds cool. Maybe we can't because we're an empire and they're an empire as well. Is that how it works? When I hear take throne, I think, you know, take throne. Let's try full annexing them. I'm actually going to make a save and we'll see what happens. Let's make a save. We'll call it, I don't know, full annex biz. And let's see what happens when we full annex them. We'll also take money because why not? There we go. The ecumenical patriarch has fallen. We choose to dissolve the patriarchy, or we can keep it intact, I guess, with us as the head. Oh, did we full annex them? Oh, it looks, oh, maybe this is why, because they had rebels, a rebel nation in their country. We couldn't take their throne? Is that how it works? I feel incredibly stupid, like as if there's something really obvious that I'm missing here. But we have Constantinople now, that's nice, I guess. Let's reload that save a second. So here we are a few moments ago. Yeah, we have the Byzantine clergy. And when we annexed the Byzantium, or the Byzantines, these guys became them? Do these guys, are they even at war with the... They are at war. No one's winning though. Can I fight them as well? No, because they don't count as being at war with me because they're not. We get access through these guys. Maybe if we full occupy Byzantium, that will have an effect. And my boats go. We go back on the boats, sail over. Bulgaria's given us access, so let's walk through. Actually, Bulgaria is also at war with Byzantium. Oh well. I guess let's just do what we did last time and take Constantinople. Maybe we won't take anything else actually. We'll just take Constantinople and not take all these very minor territories that they kind of have scattered around. Won't make us much of a country though. We'll demand war reparations, not that that will mean much, I don't think. Anything else we should ask for? We could ask for royal marriage between our daughter and the king of Byzantium. We could block them from building. We could exempt ourselves from the sound toll. Well, I don't think the sound toll is going to affect us much because we're going to take Constantinople. We could humiliate them for prestige. Sounds nice. Alright, I think we'll go with that. We'll keep the Pentarchate, which we should now be the leader of. We dissolve our levies. Yes, I guess we're now the proud owners of Constantinople. How do we I guess there's no coring in this game. It's about control. Let's look at the old Pentarchate. That supposedly is a thing that we are now the leader of. Well, actually, we're not the leader of it anymore. Still, it's still Byzantium. Maybe soon enough.